Hi, this is Neil's Han Dynasty. This is Neil from Neil's Han Dynasty. Am I sure this is Neil? Yep, it's me. It's Neil from Neil's Han Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. Buy yourself some silver. Costs $13 to mine, approximately, depending on what numbers you go by. You get it for 22. It's cheaper to mine than you can buy. Platinum, depending on the numbers, anywhere from 900 to 1800 to mine. And you can get it for $900. You can get it for less than the cost of mining it. Hello. And then buy silver, platinum, and crystallized osmium. Come to my live streams. I'm going to have Ian and a couple other people on my live streams over the next couple weeks to talk about that. It is a precious metal. But that's not what this is about. Neil, what's this about? I don't know. I forgot. Hey, there's something on TV. Let's check this out. This might be what it's about. Let's see. This is the new tourist channel, and it came out 1 hour ago. The dude from Burkina Faso suspends gold exports to the West. Holy shit, is this a game changer? Let's find out. Let's find out if it's a game changer, because if Burkina Faso does it, Mali's going to do it, and Niger's going to do it. And that's a big part of gold in Africa, believe it or not. So let's see what they're going to do. And I'll narrate in between, because I already know where they're fucked up. But that's all of Africa, not just these guys.
Since the coup that overthrew interim President Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba on September 30, 2022, Burkina Faso has been led by military commander Ibrahim Traoré, a native of Burkina Faso. Traoré, at 34, is Africa's youngest president in office at the moment. Traoré has maintained his formal, enigmatic manner of conduct as president, for which he was previously well known. He has made a concerted effort to project an image of a dignified war leader while tightly controlling his communication in an attempt to avert the unfavorable public opinion that followed his predecessors. Pro-government propaganda has increased in Burkina Faso's traditional and social media outlets throughout his rule. It is wise to say he is a revolutionary, just like Thomas Sankara. In the most recent turn of events, Traoré has suspended the issuance of export permits for artisanal and semi-mechanized gold and other precious commodities with immediate effect. Artisanal miners are individual miners or small groups who use traditional methods and tools to extract gold, often with limited technology and mechanism.
Okay, first off, traditional mining, and this isn't for the big mines. This is the smaller artisanal and small individual owner-operator mines that they got, which obviously, I don't know, there's at least 50 people there at one small artisanal mine, and they're all digging with their hands, and they're using arsenic and other things like that. So suspending that's a good thing, because they actually are being taken advantage of, kind of like how we were being taken advantage of in the I can't talk about that, I'll get a strike. But there's a middleman that's making all the money, screwing these people out of their money, and they're doing all the work. And I believe that's what he's stopped. So it's not a bad thing, but those conditions definitely need to improve, because that's not how you mine gold.
They typically sell their gold directly to local traders or middlemen.
What I tell you, middlemen.
Semi-mechanized miners employ some level of mechanization for extraction and processing, often using small machinery and equipment. They may have more formal structures and sell their gold to larger traders or export companies.
Okay, guys, here's a thought. I know not everyone can afford to do this, but there's at least 2 out of you 100 or 200 people that will watch this that can't afford it. You saw how those people were doing it. How efficient is hand mining for gold? You know how much a small Dremel, a mining machine, real small one, you can get for, real small, you can get cheap. Anyhow, $100,000 investment, you can go in there and do artisanal mining, get in with the locals, depending on how these new laws are going to turn out, because he's going to turn out new laws. That's why he stopped all of that type mining. But just see how easy it would be for an investment to go down there, set up a small mine, small excavator, small Dremel, small everything, like you see on Discovery channels. There's smaller miners that don't make but 100 ounces a season. The smaller ones, comparatively to that picture you saw of all those 50 people digging by their hands and shovels, trying the same thing while doing it with screeds and very inefficient methods. How do I know they're inefficient? I mean, out here in California, and they're inefficient because we still go up to the American River to the tail links of those old miners and find gold. Tail links are what they've already gone through to look for gold. So if we can still find it after they went through it, that's called inefficient. Just like the system they're using in Burkina Faso right now in the artisanal mines and the smaller individual owner mines, they're very, very inefficient. And if someone were to go down there with just a small, maybe $50,000 investment, $100,000 investment, talk to a couple of those guys that have those mines and say, hey, let's revamp this. You'll get more gold out of the ground because you're missing quite a bit with the barbaric techniques you're using. And we split the profits. Your end will probably be increased even after I take my end because the amount of extra gold that we're keeping that you are not getting while digging by hand. And anyhow, I see great opportunity depending on how this President Ibrahim Traore redoes the laws on artisanal mining. Let's get back to the show because I'm interested in this. Not that I have 50,000, but...
A statement that was released by the military leaders on February 20 said the suspension followed the need to clean up the sector and reflects the government's desire to better organize the marketing of gold and other precious substances. It further stated that mining groups with material to export are encouraged to get in touch with the...
Now that's a professional mine. They got their hard-ass earring plugs. They're using explosives, probably, big trucks. That's open pit gold mine. That's a professional operation, and you only see 3 guys, and they're probably getting more gold than those 50 guys digging by hand.
The National Society for Precious Commodities for payment. As of 2020, gold accounted for 37% of Burkina Faso's total exports, and mining is a major employer. However, in recent years, political unrest and a widespread Islamist insurgency have hampered exploration and reduced gold extraction, leading to the closure of certain mines and a reduction in production at others.
Okay, for those of you that have watched my channel, you'll know I did a report that showed the South African president talking to the whole African nations or continents, governments, significantly stressing mining for Africa and how they all have to get on board. So that is probably why Ibrahim Traore is doing what he's doing, because he's on board with what all of Africa is going to be doing. Is they're going to be focusing on updating their ways that they get their minerals out of the grounds for maximum efficiency and profit. And by the way, the South African president, I think, is going to be president of the G20 this year, and that's the financial arm of the world. So if the president of South Africa is telling Africa mining, when he goes to the G20 and takes over for the year, he's probably going to be pushing for investments in mining, and probably pushing for investments in mining in Africa. So, hey, if you want some good opportunity for mining in Africa, I think you got the subliminal.
2 military coups were also instigated in 2022 due to frustration with the increasing insecurity. It is not clear what effect the new export ban would have. Artisanal production amounts to almost half of industrially produced gold in West Africa's Sahel region.
Holy crap! You mean that style of gold mining provides half of the gold they get? Oh my God, man, the opportunities.
Which includes Burkina Faso. Around 10 to 30 tons of gold is mined in Burkina Faso, with an estimated 1 million people involved in the sector.
Yeah, all of them digging by hand.
Bear in mind that in December, Captain Ibrahim Traore revoked the mining permits of all foreign businesses in Burkina Faso, including those from Russia. It seems he became aware of the covert activities global companies were conducting in Burkina Faso. How did he cancel the license?
Hold on here, time out.
What is his
all right,
strategy
time in.
for the thousands of tons of gold that would still be in Burkina Faso? Directly affected industry titans like B2 Gold, Norgold, Endeavour Mining, Semafo, Fortuna Silver Mines, and Hummingbird Resources were appending Western businesses used to plunder the continent's riches. Captain Ibrahim could not understand why Burkina Faso, despite having significant gold reserves, remained one of the world's poorest nations. He knew that Burkina Faso's former colonial power, France, had enforced unfair trade agreements on the nation both before and after its independence, ensuring that France benefited disproportionately from Burkina Faso's gold resources. This has prevented Burkina Faso from developing an independent gold industry.
I'm sorry, that is not how you enter a mine shaft.
While serving in the military, Captain Ibrahim Traore saw that Burkina Faso's gold exports were subject to unfair price arrangements, and that French companies were given first dibs on mining licenses. France failed to provide sufficient support to Burkina Faso's domestic gold mining industry, favoring foreign technology and experience instead, which impeded the transfer of knowledge and skills to Burkina Faso individuals.
I mean, my
Due to
God.
increased reliance on foreign players, the nation found it more difficult to establish itself as a leader in the gold mining industry. Captain
Quite frankly, people, to be honest with you, that's not how you mine. And that piece of machinery there is from the 40s. So that right there, that's old school. That's like old.
a leader in the gold mining industry. Captain Ibrahim Traore made it his goal to rescue Burkina Faso from this snare after seeing the wicked nature of France's Sahelian policies. But he knew that in the past, Burkina Faso's government had been unduly influenced by France politically to ensure that policies benefited French businesses in the mining sector. This included pushing back against laws, supporting regional authority over gold reserves, and putting pressure on the government to offer advantageous conditions to French businesses. Ibrahim Traore decided to first consolidate all of his powers to escape Burkina Faso's systemic trap, where the CFA franc, a shared currency used by multiple West African countries, looted the nation's gold sector. Because of the CFA franc's fixed exchange rate to the euro,
Okay. That statement, I don't know if you guys caught that or not. They introduced a money system and they exchanged using that fiat money system, and they actually took the physical gold out of the country while they were using that fiat money system. And that's what they're talking about, right? That's what he just mentioned, was they were not allowing the gold back in the people's hand, but they were giving them a fiat system to replace gold, which is an indentured servitude or nearly to slavery if you have a fiat system, as we here in America know, or we should. Back to the show.
Burkina Faso's exports are perceived as artificially overpriced, which is lowering its competitiveness internationally. This is one of the main reasons why Ibrahim Traore recently announced that his country might soon abandon the CFA franc as part of an effort to break all ties that kept them in slavery.
Yeah, what I tell you.
Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have demonstrated time and again that they prioritize autonomy over expediency, having already driven out French soldiers and retreated from a UN mission in Mali. Their stance on the euro-pegged CFA franc seems to remain unchanged, even though analysts and experts believe that abandoning the CFA would be riskier and more difficult than leaving Ikawas, a decision that would be viewed as a daring, if possibly foolish, show of defiance. However, France was able to artificially strengthen the CFA franc and then devalue it after purchasing a significant amount of gold from Burkina Faso.
Bingo, what I just tell
forcing
you.
France to pay less in CFA franc than the original price for the gold. This made it evident that France's involvement in Burkina Faso's gold mining industry was primarily motivated by its desire to exploit the country's resources for its benefit, with little consideration.
Now, first off, I gotta state this. Okay, yeah, France is bad for that's how countries do it. Every country does it. Even African countries do this to themselves. They're just a little more different than us. But you can't have that kind of scenario forced upon the people. The leaders have to make it happen, allow it to happen, or the Africans had to sell out. So it's not just a colonial problem. When you say colony in Africa, well, the Africans are actually profiting from it. Not all, and actually the wrong ones. But the fact of the matter is, their own people sold them out as well. So you can't blame everything on the colonials. You can only blame half of it. Because I can hand you $1,000 for a bribe, but it's not a bribe unless you take it and act upon it. Don't forget about that.
For Burkina Faso's development. This move of the immediate suspension of export permits for artisanal and semi-mechanized gold and other precious commodities by Traoré has sparked various discussions and potential impacts. Approximately 1 million people who are directly or indirectly involved in artisanal gold mining.
1 million people are mining hand and shovel, making half of the 37% of Burkina Faso's number one export, which is gold. Do you not see a way you can improve on this? And it's not an economic, pun intended, gold mine? I'm showing you guys opportunity here, and opportunity and opportunity. I'm seeing several opportunities right here for someone to come in and make that country great and make a great profit while doing it. Not stealing from them, benefiting them. Change the way we do business, people. It's going to take us smaller folk to do that. Big people are still, they're too greedy. Too greedy.
A vital source of income for many in Burkina Faso.
That right there. See that shovel?
Have major effects from this decision.
See, half of their export of gold is produced by guys with shovels, and a whole shitload of them. 1 million? 1 million miners. Holy crap. Man, for all you business educated people, hey, think of McDonald's. What are they doing? You get rid of the employees, you make more profit right off the bat. Just bring in a few new machineries. Oh, well, not new, just bring in a machine. I mean, wow, the opportunities. Holy cow. Maybe not today, because they're hating on colonials today, but it's got to come soon. There's got to be opportunity. There is opportunity, but they're going to have to let us, not us, but man, there's opportunity.
The suspension could lead to decreased gold production and exports, impacting the national economy and government revenue.
That's because it's 1/3 of their economy.
The ban might push some miners toward the black market, potentially undermining the government.
I'm sorry, but you see how he's weighing out that gold? That's already black market stuff.
Government's goals of transparency and regulation. Discontent among affected communities will definitely lead to social unrest and instability, adding to the existing challenges in Burkina Faso. Take note that the government hasn't announced the duration of the suspension, creating uncertainty for miners and businesses, but Traoré certainly has a plan. It could be possible that Western corporations have started using these small-scale gold traders to extract gold.
That's a nice small scale, looks like well-run operation. You don't have 10,000 humans, 10,000 humans, 10,000 humans, 10,000 humans, 2,000 humans. You have machinery doing it a lot safer.
From Burkina Faso. Due to the huge profits that Western firms have made on Africa's resources, many of the continent's nations are stuck in cycles of...
Okay, hold on. Unique scenario here. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger were taken advantage of. They just kicked the dudes out that had been taking advantage of them, which means opportunity, 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 opportunity in those three countries. Why I bring you so much information about those three countries is the economic opportunity for prosperity, not for them, but for anyone who can get in and work with the local tribe who's got the approval of the government to do something. However, they're going to be turning out these new rules and regulations for these artisan mines. That's the key. Once those get turned out, boom, opportunity, baby, for anyone. You can go in there, like I said, talk to a local tribal chief, because they're junta. They're all tribe. They're in the same tribe. All three of those countries are one tribe. But anyhow, that's another story. You talk to the tribal guy in that area. He controls it. It's okay through the government. However, the government decides to turn it out. When they do turn it out, you go in there and make a deal with him. Say, hey, we can extract more gold. And you don't go to the areas that have machinery. You go to the areas that don't have the machinery and tell them, hey, man, we can extract more gold with less back-breaking work. And my percentage will not affect how much gold you were getting before I came along. As a matter of fact, it'll increase the amount of gold you get along with me taking my percentage, and less people will be breaking their backs. And you can spend, and I'll even do a percentage of mine to put back in the community to buy shirts for the kids to be a sports team so they can do a soccer ball and maybe some nets and stuff and maybe a school, work deals with these guys. Great opportunity. Great opportunity.
Dependency and poverty. Traore's initiatives are part of a growing trend among African leaders who are demanding a more equitable sharing of their riches that goes beyond the immediate financial benefits and challenging the notion that their continent is merely a source of cheap resources. By making this decision, Traore challenges the Western narrative that sees African nations as cheap suppliers of resources and claims his right to self-determination. Traore is waging a struggle for sovereignty. His bold action might inspire other African countries to adopt the same attitude and take control of their fate. Under the resolute leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traore, Burkina Faso is rewriting the history books by taking on the challenge of regaining control over its vast gold reserves and challenging the historical.
That is not gold mining, but that's how they're doing it. To give you a better idea, again, third inversion of it, that's not how you gold mine. There's so many more efficient ways you can do it with a small investment from someone who's smart enough on my channel.
Dominance of foreign corporations. The opening of a new gold refinery heralds the start of an exciting new age in which the country seeks to attract investors dedicated to sustainable and ethical development and achieve the full potential of its mineral richness. Before, Burkina Faso had to agree to allow the export of unprocessed gold. Between now and March,
Time out. Time
Burkina
in.
Faso missed the opportunity to increase its revenue. Now that Burkina Faso is establishing its gold refinery, its officials will be on site to evaluate Burkina Faso's fair amount that should be supplied. Previously, exporting raw gold,
man, doesn't that gold just look pretty?
Entailed accepting lower rates and removing themselves from the refining process. Now is the time for change. Take note that Traore has also been doing all that he promised to do in the speech he delivered during the Russia-Africa Summit in St. Petersburg. He said Burkina Faso had been confronted with the most violent form of imperialist neo-colonialism for the past years, and slavery had continued to impose itself on them, but he did not want anyone to feel sorry for his country. This was because he had decided to fight against all the crises in his country to relaunch their development. Here he is, coming up with strategies every time to better his country. African countries need to work together to achieve their development goals. This means that they need to cooperate on issues such as trade.
Anyhow, that's enough about their cooperation. Look at that bar. God, that's good looking. All that fiat. Pretty. Gold is definitely pretty. But anyhow, that's what the report's about, people. Opportunities galore in Western Central Africa right now because of what these countries, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali are doing. And they seem to be reasonable individuals. I don't see where you couldn't go there with a good game plan. And well, of course, you're going to have to wait till they come up with these new rules and regulations that they have for the artisan mines. But the upgrade, I'm sure he's going to upgrade. I'm sure, and they don't have the money to upgrade it, so they're going to need some investment. And I think smaller people, they're not going to take big business. They're sick of big corporations, and that's where I see massive freaking opportunity. If you want to take it, take it. Have a good day.